It's an awesome task to carry light. It is time for all of you to redefine your own identities in a much greater sense. Events are transpiring in the cosmos that you and even many of your political leaders have no idea of. You must stop this foolishness about your definitions of gods, thinking that there are beings who come from the skies to this planet with special talents and abilities and that they are all spiritually connected. You are going to discover as a species some very disturbing ideas over the next number of years. We are preparing you by decree of the family of light so that you can understand and be informed about your own options. We have stressed with you this idea of multidimensionality, the concept that you can be in many places and can shift your consciousness. We have shared with you the idea that there will be a number of worlds created out of this earth. At one time or another, you will come to doubt everything we have shared with you. Your system will be shocked, and you will not want to believe the extent to which you have been uninformed, so you will deny the validity of our information for a time. We can only offer you information based upon your own acceleration. You must evolve yourselves and have your wits about you to ask for information because there is a divine law concerning interference. There are many who have broken that law and interfered with Earth, even those in our own ancestral realm have done so. We have said to you often enough that this is a free will universe and a free will zone so that, of course, the underlying theme is that all is allowed. Therefore, there are always those who wish to be the lords and masters and authorities over others. You have been too simplistic about how many beings control others here. The family of light has been noted for its penchant or predilection for creating societies in which there is a tremendous movement in all directions along the light rays. What does this mean? Light is information, so the family of light is the family of information. There are consciousnesses, families of war that spend perhaps billions of years in your conception of time studying, promoting, and experiencing control over consciousness. In a universe that exists outside of the limitation of time, all scenarios within a free will zone get played out. This is a time for you to radically change your views about yourselves and to break down boundaries. It is time for you to rise out of the pettiness of day-to-day dramas and events and begin to connect on a cosmic level with the higher drama that is occurring. In this way, you can be better informed about your own intentions, purposes, and drama. You must be able to understand both your identity and your ability to ride your identity into any world you choose. This story of the family of light, or the return of the white t-shirts, as we like to call it, is who you are. You have committed to do a certain task, to be on assignment, and to remember and fulfill what you came here to do. We have told you that your worlds and your identity within them are going to change drastically, and you are coming closer to those times. You have had changes, many of you. If you look back to see who you were 1 year ago, ideally each of you will see that you are now much more empowered. Ideally, each of you is beginning to feel that you do, in every instant, create your own reality, and that every situation you experience, whether you are employed or unemployed, is by your own design. At this time, ideally, each and every one of you has the art of manifestation down, because it is now time for you to pull the cosmic gridwork of information into your body and plug it into your psyche so that you can become a broadcaster of this data upon the planet. This is the gridwork that is fired by the light-encoded filaments outside of your body. You must become much more discerning about what and who is coming from the skies because you are going to be duped and tricked and you are not going to understand it. We see this because we ourselves know how easy it is to dupe and trick you. Sometimes we do it to you to move you along. We told you that we have already been very tricky with you. This was necessary because if we told you the whole story, many of you would have turned tail and run a long time ago. Ideally, we have instilled confidence in you. We have also instilled in you a new codicil of information so that you can take the basic building block of this system, the concept that you create yourselves, that you create your reality by your thoughts and formulate a world designed by the family of light. In this way, a plan and new gridwork can overlay a portion of this earth so that a completely new probability can burst forward. Without you and the new probability that you are bringing, there is potential for a great cosmic war here upon earth at some time. Reach out with your feeling center and feel the confusion that is spreading around this world about what is going on. This planet has operated on a very low frequency, a frequency based on survival, and a frequency based on disempowerment. Your identity has been based on what you could gather outside of yourself. The 12 helixes will render irrelevant everything that has represented and surrounded the 2 helixes. All of the money saved and property owned, all of the security based on the first 2 helixes that provides you with identity is completely irrelevant to the evolution of the planet. Feel the fear and uncertainty running through the lives of humans as they begin to realize that the way their lives have been defined is now crumbling. Realize that light is the culprit of this crumbling and that you, as members of the family of light and keepers of frequency, are causing this crumbling to take place because you carry the electromagnetic charge onto the planet that broadcasts the new frequency. You help create this chaos of new consciousness. Think back over your own lives for the last year or 2 and realize that there have been times when you, yourselves, have been in an incredible chaos of consciousness. You have been in a chaos of decisions about who you are, where you want to live, who you want to mate with, whether you want to stay mated or not, whether you want to have a child or not, whether you want to continue to be a parent, and many other things. Reach your minds out into your communities and feel how the foundation that people have based their lives on is slowly slipping away to rubble. The global grasp of reality is gone. The foundation is sliding away, and there are those who cannot see the slide at this time. The most significant reason for this slide is that there is new information accessible that makes the old information archaic and decrepit, and you are responsible for this. So you are responsible to a certain extent for evolving yourselves through this and for being your own forms of inspiration, for being living examples for others. You take a very active role. There are many who say, "Oh, no, here comes the light," because light is known to alter every vibrational frequency that it encounters. Light carries information, and information expands systems so that old systems can no longer exist. So, as light moves to destroy, it also births new systems by what it leaves behind. A new order is formed. Some of you find it difficult to think of yourselves as destroyers because you have a belief system about destruction. It is a paradigm, and if you get stuck in that vibration and do not smash those ideas, you will become very confined and restricted in experiencing reality. Yes, you are definitely destroyers. You destroy systems where the dark team and ignorance prevail. Light goes in to destroy all systems, and the experience of destruction is relative to how strong or with what fervor consciousness clings to what is being destroyed. Who's going to bail you out when the going gets rough? Where is the rescue team? You are it. In order to have this transformation take place, you must use what you have to bring it about. There is incredible assistance from all kinds of realms. However, it all depends on you, not us. You are going to change the frequency simply by commitment, determination, and willpower. Discover what you are in your physical body because it is your outreach of power here. Learn to direct and use it and become one with it. By carrying light inside of your body, you bring that frequency onto the planet, and that frequency has information. The frequency of light contains the history of your identity and the history of your particular consciousness. As we have said, that consciousness was scattered from your database or cellular structure because those who came in to be your gods could not control you if you had the same abilities they did. So they did the biogenetic experimentation and mutation that has been called the fall. That was when the ignorance of the human species became more predominant. They performed many different experiments, which went on for a very long period of time. Light represents the putting together of what has been asunder, and to perform that task all you have to do is be as you simply are, and as you evolve yourself and let your own personal life evolve, truly you are to take for granted that all the other members of light are evolving as you are. You send your telepathic broadcast out that your presence is here, much as we always say to you, we are here. We are also members of the family of light, and we bring information with us and broadcast it everywhere. There is a need for each of you to examine the boundaries you have set around yourself. You believe that you have evolved, that you have a large picture, and that you see many things. And, relative to where you have journeyed from, indeed you have made progress. However, we guarantee you that you are not seeing the boundaries that you presently set for yourself, which still define what you believe you can and cannot do. They are what tethers you to this version or frequency of reality. These boundaries that you set, and that you advertise and announce about yourselves, keep you from moving with the information that is awakening inside you. The information is part of the spiritual upliftment. Different layers of reality are removed so that you become more in tune with the realms of spirit. That is what spiritual advancement is. We want you to give up boundaries and stop defining and protecting every aspect of your lives. It is an awesome task to carry light. Once you allow light to come into your body, you begin the process of change, which is not always joyous, uplifting, and fun-filled, as some of you have discovered. In this process, when things are not so fun-filled, the first thing you may do to keep yourself from evolving and changing is to respond to emotional events with fear. You may blame someone else and whine and complain, and you may feel and believe that someone did something to you. The rest of the planet believes this, but they are not members of the family of light. There are millions of members of the family of light here, of course, and light is returning to this planet where the dark t-shirts were in charge for a very long time. The dark t-shirts have fed off your emotions of fear and negativity and war and greed. Because this is a free will universe, all of this has been allowed. Prime Creator is the dark team as well as the family of light. Prime Creator is all things. We teach you in stories. Someday, perhaps, you will see through the stories we tell. You will not need them any longer, and you will be able to smash paradigms and come into a knowing of larger realities. Until that day, we speak to you in stories so that we can hold your interest and entice you into areas you are petrified to go, areas where you have committed in the deepest portion of your soul to journey. In a short period of time, there will be a great need to realize which people are really keepers of frequency and who are just talking about it. The keepers of frequency are going to be called upon to create a certain stability upon this planet, for they know 100% of the time that they create their reality. They learn how to defy the laws of humanity by conscious direction of their awareness and energy. That is the depth of impeccability and commitment we are speaking of. We are not here to bandy words or get you to feel good about yourself. We are here to remind you who you are and what you have agreed to do, what you have come here to achieve on this planet. We are here to be your cheerleaders and encourage you to remember, to give some guidance and assistance so that you can discover for yourselves the miracle that awaits inside the human body. The way you can best operate at this time is to be keepers of your own frequency and not go around saving everyone else. Do everything in your power to keep yourself consistently aware and understanding of what is going on. Be consistent with the frequency of light that brings you information, and with the frequency of love, which is the frequency of creation. As the food source is taken away from the creator gods and the frequency barrier is pierced, Earth's gridwork will change. In actuality, Earth is going through an initiation. Earth cares about all of its inhabitants and is evolving as its inhabitants are evolving into an existence in which greater possibilities will be everyday occurrences, in which miracles can become the way of life because they will exist within the frequency that will become available. Each of you assists in making that frequency alive on this planet by living your life according to light and according to what you know. This is the work of an individual nature. You may work in groups and have certain leaders, but you must, as individuals, evolve yourselves. As you do so, and as you are led by your light to live a certain way, you will begin to feel excited. You do not have to work with us or with anyone continuously to gather information. The only continuity needed is for you to continuously work with yourself and seek the meaning of what we call the exalted self. Feel what the exalted self means. It is triumphant, liberated, joyous in achievement, and the highest in attainment. This planet is in desperate need of committed entities who are in search of the exalted self. The continuity we have been speaking of that it will behoove you to bring into your lives involves knowing from moment to moment inside your beings that you are committed to discovering this exaltation. This exaltation can be translated in words as a frequency, or a wave of feeling, or vibration. You all understand vibration in terms of light and sound. Vibrations are ongoing, they carry and transmit forms of intelligence. When you look to yourself and do not forget that you are on this path, and you continuously remind yourself that you are pulling light into your body and are seeking to raise the frequency of your physical being, defy the laws of humanity, and alter the frequency of the planet, you are producing a kind of continuity that can do more than all the books and tapes in the world. There is nothing stronger than your commitment to the exalted self. Once you commit yourself to the energy of light, the energy of exaltation, and uplifted frequency, you are marked. Then you must live according to what these energies put before you as you call for your task to be accelerated. First and foremost, live your light. Live that light inside of yourself with courage. Don't live in the closet, live it. Speak what you know without getting up on a soapbox and waving your hands around like a fanatic. Simply stated, this is what I believe. This is what I live. For example, someone may say to you, careful, you might catch a cold. You can say in return, I don't believe in catching colds. I don't use my body for sickness. By saving things like this, you bring others to awakening. Speak what you know in casual conversation with family and friends. Wherever you are, use the pillar of light. We recommend that each of you visualize a pillar of light coming in through the top of your head, opening your crown, and filling your body with light. Picture this cosmic pillar of light coming from the higher cosmos, filling you, and then coming out your solar plexus and making a ball of light around your body so that you exist within a glowing etheric egg. When you love yourself and Earth, and you know that you are here to redefine, redesign, and break the boundaries of humanity, you broadcast this. You live your life committed to this. If you ask us how much time you need to devote to this, we will say, it is very simple, all of your time. All of it. It is not something you worry about, it is something you simply are. You live it, it is your divinity. You will find that when you live your light, you will draw to yourself others who are very interested in living their lives in the same manner, and your numbers will grow and grow. When you make the commitment to say, Spirit, I am wishing to be employed by you. Put me to work and show me what I can do. Give me the opportunity to live my light, to speak my truth, and to carry this light around the globe, then Spirit will put you to work. Be clear on what you are available for and make a contract with Spirit. Tell Spirit what you want for compensation. Spirit will allow you to negotiate and write whatever contract you want as long as you are operating in a capacity of service to yourself to uplift your vibration. When you are in service to yourself and are committed to personally evolving and changing, you uplift everyone around you. That is service. Service is not going out and martyring yourself and saying, I'm going to save you. Service is doing the work yourself and living in such a way that everyone you touch is affected by your journey. There is nothing wrong with getting a little feisty with Spirit and saving, listen, guys, I've had it. I've been asking and I'm willing to do it. Please, I want acceleration. If you want an acceleration, be clear, be very prepared to take off, and be open to reading the symbols as they come to you. When a book falls off a shelf, read it. When an opportunity comes for you to go somewhere, don't say, I'm sorry, I can't afford it. Do it. When a person is put in your path, and you have been saying you want a relationship, but the person has the wrong packaging, do it. You are operating in no sense, and perhaps these things are Spirit's way of bringing you pattern breakers. If you are clear and you communicate in every situation, you can make a lot of progress. You all think too much about how things are going to come about and what the packaging is going to look like. This is important to realize. So when you ask for an acceleration, be prepared to take chances that the logical mind may scream about. The logical mind is going to kick and fuss over some of these things because it will be afraid. As soon as you hear yourself say, I can't do that, or, that doesn't make any sense, listen. These are keywords. Simply say, I am divinely guided. I am intending an acceleration. I am intending that I work through an uplifting capacity, and I will take a chance on this. This feels right even though it makes no sense, so I will go for it. However, if it doesn't feel good and it doesn't make any sense, then don't do it. Trust your feelings. There is a culling going on, a culling of the chosen. What does it mean to be called, the chosen? Those who gather when we speak and those who hear the sound of their internal song are the chosen. Just because you are the chosen does not mean you are automatically going to rise in the ranks and perform the duty that needs to be performed. Who chose you? You chose yourselves. You are not members of an exclusive club, and yet, on the other hand, you are. The membership in this club is voluntary, and all of you decided who you would be and why you would come here. We cannot emphasize enough that courage is going to become the middle name for each and every one of you. Many of you have lives that are in the closet. You are not willing to let everyone know what your intimate beliefs are. You may feel very safe in a room discussing a variety of subjects, some of them very far out, yet, in your workplace or with your family or whatever, you put a zipper across your mouth and will not give yourself permission to speak your truth. There are a multitude of people whose coatings are waiting to hear your voice. So you, the chosen, are being culled at this time. You are being sorted out for courage. If you cannot gather courage now, we are not too certain that you are going to gather courage later on. You each came to this planet to do a task, and that task is at hand. It is now. The decade of change is upon you, and as you integrate and realize what this change means, it will alter each and every one of your lives. The change means giving up many things, coming apart from many things, and coming together with other things because you will trust. Trust is the word that all of you would love to have as your middle name, and yet trust is something you all say that you don't have. What does it mean to trust? It means to have such inner knowing that your thoughts create your world, to simply be quite certain, with divine nonchalance and inner knowing, that if you think something, it is. It is this theme over and over again that we are attempting to present to you, in every capacity and every means of expression, so that one of these days you will get it. Once you get it and begin to live it, you will begin to change your lives. We keep emphasizing that the time to get moving is now. It is not necessarily that you have run out of time. It is that time is beginning to squeeze itself in upon you, and if you do not act, things can move into discomfort. As we said, there is a culling of the chosen. You have chosen yourselves, therefore, if you do not move into the work of the blueprint you have designed for yourselves, to a certain extent you will run out of time. You have a few more years before things will be so topsy-turvy and hectic that if you are not living your life in the true eminence of light you have volunteered to, it could be too late. In other words, if you procrastinate and procrastinate, you will be washed into the undertow of the tidal wave as it comes, perhaps literally. No matter what the endeavor in which you are being led to participate, it is part of your blueprint and plan so that you can evolve. And by evolving, you affect the evolution of the planet. Everything you do is for your evolution. As you come into comprehension of who humans are and what this place is, you begin to open new pathways for others. You will find that events you never imagined will somehow be put together before you. These will be things that are beyond your comprehension, setups, as we like to call them, or opportunities you never thought of. This is when you will know that you are living your light and doing so with courage. There is a good possibility that light carriers will come into question in the next few years. Understand that this is part of the plan. All of you must have a clear intention as to how you would like your reality to be designed. This does not mean that you are not flexible, it means that you operate with clarity. You say, to my guides and all of those who are assisting me in my evolutionary journey on Earth, it is my intention that I be successful. It is my intention that I will be always safe in all things that I do. It is my intention that I receive love and give love in all things that I do. It is my intention that I have a good time and that I be provided with prosperity according to my needs. It is my intention that I not become overly enamored of the material world. Though you must do your own work to evolve, there are many planetary and non-physical beings ready to work with you. All you need do is call them for assistance. When you do, always state clearly that any assistance comes to you from light. Stay in your integrity and be aware. On this planet, it is assumed that if someone is intelligent they are spiritually aware. This is absolutely a falsehood. Someone can be brilliant and learn to transcend human laws and yet still not operate with the frequency of light or the frequency of love. Be aware of this and be clear about the assistance you call to yourself. We have mentioned many times that light frequency brings information. Love frequency brings creation as well as respect for and connection to all of creation. Love frequency without light frequency can be very crippling. If you think that love frequency comes from something outside of yourself instead of from inside yourself, you will do what has been done on this planet over and over again. Worship someone who is promoting love frequency as if they were a saint. The ideal is to carry the light frequency of information to become informed and to couple it with love frequency. This will allow you to feel a part of creation and to not judge it or be frightened by it but simply to see the divinity and perfection of it as it evolves to teach every included consciousness about itself.